2006 Volkswagen Beetle that has been sitting for a while. Customer lost the key. Let's see what we got here. Leash is gonna be 8U66. I expect this lock to be dirty, but let's see what we got. Alright, I got an HU66, 2 lifters, and 2 KDIY X horse HU66 insert. I don't have any metal blade anymore, so we're gonna try to make it work with this. Okay, about four minutes. Everything was kind of bouncy, and it was a little tricky. Nothing was really hard. Everything was pretty bouncy, so I had to be very, very patient. Touch it a little bit, just touch it a little bit until one became stiff, and then when I picked that one, immediately I got it. So in this lock, number one, the way it get picked, number 1 and number 2, and then number 3 and number 4 get picked at the top, and then number 5, number 6 to the bottom, and then number 7 and number 8 to the top. Okay, so what I call the top is pretty much this end, and what I call bottom is this end, because if I release it like this, it becomes like top and bottom. So let's try now to decode this lock. A little challenging because I have to hold it and do this at the same time. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to get it. Let's go back. So decoding section will be the same as picking. Number 1 is a 1. Number 2 is a 2. 1, 3. So 1, 2, 1, 3, and then that's a 4. 4, 3, 2, 4. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4. Let's put this in a machine and find out if we get a code. All right, so we got our key clamped up on the B blade. This is our key shell, and we are going to insert our chip here. Actually, we are going to glue it to prevent the customer to lose it. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Just got the key, try it in the lock, and then when I do the programming, I do the programming with the chip separate from the key, or I just leave the chip in there, and then if the job is done, then I go ahead and glue it and seal, you know, the other side to make sure that if it falls, you know, customer doesn't lose the chip or it doesn't open up. All right, so we are connected to Dolphin. We are going to click on vehicle database. You can click on VW and type. I don't have anything here, so I'm going to click on cancel. And then I'm going to look for VW, Volkswagen, and it's a Beetle. And it's a 2005 to 2010, And we're going to click on that, and then we are going to click yes. And remember, our cut was 1 2 1 1 3 4 3 2 4. Let's see if we got a code. And yes, we do have a code 5086. So I don't have test blades. I only have KDIY and X-Horse insert, and I could use those to make keys for Emo 4s. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the key. So let's go ahead and click on cut key. I'm going to check that out and click on this. So let's wait until the key is cut. Take the key and try it in the door lock. Hopefully the ignition lock cylinder wasn't replaced. So that's gonna be this for the first part of it. Then we are going to find our way through programming. I'm expecting reading the pin code would be difficult, but let's see what we got. All right, so our key is cut. Let's grab that key and go to the ignition and the door. All right, our key is cut. Let's remove our leashy tool. Okay, so this is our key in the door. It's pretty dirty. Oh. And look what I found. Customer key on the ignition. Seems like somebody had programmed a key for them. But that's weird, but the key is not programmed. Could the key go out of programming after a vehicle has been sitting so long? And here's the key. This key was cut. Customer thought they lost the key. And this is my key that is already cut before I find out the key on the ignition. So the key is not programmed. That is very weird. I don't understand how a key could lose programming. Let's check to see if there's a chip in it. And there is a chip inside, and it's actually glued, but it's not programmed anymore. That is very weird. Okay, that's good. So what would you guys do? How much would you charge the customer knowing that you came and you thought it was all keys lost? And you did all this leashy and everything, and then you come find out that the customer has the key on the ignition. However, the key is not programmed, so the job continues. So I think what I'm going to do is notify the customer that I found the key on the ignition, but for some reason the key is not programmed. Let's check the remote. And the remote works, but the key is not programmed. So I'm gonna let that customer know that the key was in ignition, but it's not programmed. So I'm gonna try to program both keys if I'm able to read pin. If I'm gonna program both keys, because I made this already. So there's no way I could go back. If I had not made this, I was gonna charge for transportation, me traveling to them, and a lockout, because I leashed it to make that key, but I have that key. So maybe what I'm going to do is attempt to read pin and program this key, and if that works, I can clone that chip and replace the chip that is in there, because this is not a universal chip. This is a ID48. So I can put a new ID48 into it and program it, or I can make a key with this if I'm able to read the pin, and then just clone that chip and put that chip in there so they can have two instead of one. This way it doesn't seem like, I lost, and I think it would be pretty fair, for them. I drove about an hour, to come over here. But that's again what I'm thinking. What would you guys do if you were in this situation? What would you do?